things yesterday on the center court that I haven't experienced too many times in my life, and I want to thank all the people who came to welcome me and to watch the practice session and to give me this amazing energy that I felt on the court, and I'm trying to feed off that energy and obviously play the best tennis that I can possibly play this week and hopefully have a good tournament. I'm very happy that I chose to come to Mexico for the first time, and I've heard a lot of nice things about this tournament. Obviously, if you see in the last 3-4 years the field of the players that were coming to play in this tournament, it says enough about its quality. And this year, obviously, we have, I think, 5 out of top 10 players playing in the tournament. So it's very impressive. It's going to be a hard tournament, but I see there is a lot of interest, and I'm very grateful to all of you for supporting tennis, for supporting this tournament, and I hope you can all have a great week.
Okay, open up for questions.
Welcome to Mexico. And have you enjoyed the tennis like before? I mean, did you recuperate the joie of jouer? And how you recuperate after tough matches and some shots, mentally and physically?
Well, first of all, I mean, for me, it's essential to have the joy of playing and the love and passion for the sport. If I don't have a passion, it's hard to play. It's hard to do anything in life if you don't have passion for what you do. So I'm very privileged that I'm able to play tennis, the sport that I always loved. And of course, in the last 6-7 months, I did go through some ups and downs and through a phase of my life where I experienced some oscillations, and some I'd say not as good results as up to standard that was maybe in the last 3-4 years, but it's life, it's sport. I'm a human being as anybody else, and I'm prone to make mistakes and to also have this kind of moments where I don't want to say bad moments. It's just moments where you're not as good, and then you're learning a lesson. I guess that's what life is, giving you as a test in a way to become stronger, to learn more about yourself, about your abilities, to improve your game. And well, all in all, I feel that I'm in a much better state of mind than maybe I was the end of last year. So I keep on going. I love this sport. That's why I'm playing it. That's why I'm here. And I'm just hoping that I can stay healthy and dedicated as best as I can be.
Luis?
Hey Novak, Nole. It's been a month since your last match. We all know what happened. And the surprise for all of us, Roger, Rafa, Andy, and you are never giving up. You're standing at the big four. What do you expect for the whole season, the upcoming events, Indian Wells, Miami, Roland Garros, all that you have to defend?
Well, I have to correct you. I played Davis Cup as well. I played one match.
Sorry.
After Australia. So, but look, I haven't experienced the first week Australian Open loss for many years. I was very fortunate to play very successfully and very well in Australian Open for so many years, and it has been historically my most successful Grand Slam. I won it 6 times, and I played some amazing tennis throughout the years. But as I said, the question, as I answered on the question before, I mean, it's kind of normal and expected to go through those times when you are not playing as best as you can, maybe as best as you want to be, and maybe the opponent has an amazing day. It's sport, you have to deal with it, and you can always learn much more from the losses. You can always reflect on things that you've done wrong, and try to change certain things and adjust and improve and make some tweaks that is gonna eventually result as a positive thing for you in the future. Because when you are winning, even though you're winning ugly sometimes because you have those matches, you don't reflect on the certain things that need some doing, that need some work. So there's many times that you just, kind of work your way through the match or tournaments and you win and you think, oh, everything is great, but you're not maybe playing up to the standard that you should. So that's the way at least I look at it. It's my approach. Of course, everybody has a different mindset, and I always try to see it from a brighter side. And it's a lesson that was given by life, by God. So I keep on going, and I keep giving whatever I can give.
Hi, Novak, here in the middle. Well, as you said, you were kind of used to win Australia for the last years, but after you went out early, how do you get used to
The winter in
recover? Sorry.
I'm just joking. Like I said, you said how I used to, and I said the winter in Europe because I haven't spent much of January in Europe in the last 7-8 years.
Okay.
But, to recover, you said yes. So,
yeah, and how do you see these next months of the season when you have to defend a lot of points, starting in Indian Wells and obviously obviously later Roland Garros and all the Masters that are before Roland Garros?
Well, to be honest with you, it's not the first time that I have to defend this much points. I've been in this situation for so many times in my life, and it is the burden that you have to accept and you have to deal with it. You have to just try to fight for the trophies and for the matches equally as everybody else does. And it just depends what kind of mindset you have. I don't try to approach tournaments where I'm defending champion as defending something. I'm trying to draw a line and start from scratch as anybody else and race to the trophy. So from zero basically with whoever is on that tournament. So it just depends what kind of perception in your head you have. But for me it's always chasing something rather being the chased one.
Yes, hello Novak. And you are one of the most popular players in the world, but especially the children follow you. What message give to the children about success, fail, and the life? Thank you.
Well, this is the biggest compliment and nicest thing I can hear, that children follow me and that children look up to me, and because that brings me joy. And obviously the best thing that I can say to those children is keep that smile on the face and keep the joy in life, because that's what children are all about. So that's why I love being with children, because that's what they bring to you. They bring this pure feeling of happiness and joy and just the most beautiful emotions. And yesterday there was a lot of children on the court, and I could see how much they enjoyed watching tennis. And I could go back and actually remember the days when I was as young and looking up. So I try always to dedicate as much as of my time I can, possibly quality time, to the children, and interact with them, because it's important. It gives them a lot of I'd say inspiration, to maybe one day become tennis players or athletes or whatever, successful people in life, whatever it is, because children's mind it extends to the to eternity. We can't even comprehend. So it's beautiful that there's a lot of children around.
Hi, Nove. We all saw the warm welcome Mexican fans gave you yesterday. But let's talk about the court and the conditions. How did you feel yesterday on court?
Look at this.
Yes, exactly. It's very humid.
Yeah, I just finished the practice, and let's say that it's more pleasant to play at night during the day. So I'm glad that at least matches are starting later. And most of the men's tournament matches are played later in the night, which is good because there is not much humidity, not much heat, which is very very difficult for players to deal with. But in the end of the day, it's the same for you and your opponent. So you know, ideally you want to have a little bit more time. I arrived a bit later, so I have to adjust quicker. But again, it's not the first time for me to adjust this quickly on the time zone and conditions. So I hope that I can be able to play at my best tomorrow night.
Second row.
Hi, Novak, how are you? We saw a final between Federer and Nadal in Australia. Andy is playing pretty well as well, and you are obviously playing well. Do you think the big four are back?
I never thought that we have left anywhere. But it's normal for the sport to have new faces, you know, to have new players, and you can't expect four players that you mentioned and me being in the mix to be at the top all the time and forever. It's normal to expect that there is a new generation coming up, challenging the best players and really boldly and confidently approaching the world of tennis, willing to take those top spots. But it was amazing to see, having said that, Roger win Australian Open at his age, after injury and after being absent for so long. It's quite impressive. I congratulate him for that. It's he never ceases to impress everybody. So that proves that you can still play on a very high level, the highest level in sport in that age here in tennis. That is very demanding sport. And it was great to see Federer and Nadal final. You know, I haven't seen that in Grand Slam for some time. And I think it's very important for the sport of tennis that these two guys are you know, back in Grand Slam finals, winning trophies, because they are the icons of tennis. You know, they have contributed so much to the popularity of the sport worldwide. So I think with them being back in such a high level, it can only bring positive to our sport.
Thanks, everyone. Novak, good luck this week.
Thank you.